Gents, if you're over 30 and you're trying to lose body fat and it just feels way more complicated than it should, this is probably exactly where you're going wrong. Because most men I speak to feel like they're doing most things right. It's just that they're overcomplicating something that should actually be really simple. And most of the time, they're actually very close to getting it right. Now I get it, because you go online and you've got one person telling you to cut carbs, you've got someone else telling you need to fast, and then someone else telling you that you need to train 6 days a week. And the reason why this doesn't work is because it's like trying to follow 5 sat-navs at the same time. You're moving, but you've got no idea of whether you're actually going in the right direction. So what most men end up doing is just a bit of everything, but nothing consistently enough to actually see results. And this is the bit that no one really wants to hear. It's not that fat loss is harder after 30. It's not that your metabolism's broken. It's just that realistically your life's got messier. You're busier, work's more demanding, you're more social, and then you add on a couple of drinks on the weekend and that equals less sleep. So it's not that your body's fighting against you, it's that your routine at the moment isn't enough anymore to support fat loss. So the answer is, instead of adding more things in, what you actually need to do is to simplify everything. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that with your nutrition. First thing, stop trying to be different every single day. What you want to do is find a small number of meals that you actually enjoy that roughly fit your calorie target and just repeat them. So as a simple structure, you could choose 4 breakfasts under 500 calories and choose 4 lunches and 4 dinners under 600 calories and just repeat those. And within that, find meals that are easy to make, meals that you actually enjoy eating, and just stick to them. Because the more variety you add in, the more guesswork you're doing and the more decisions you have to make, the more likely you are to fall off track. So it's like trying to budget your money. If your bills are the same every month, it's easy to stay on track. But if every day is random, you have no idea where you stand. Okay, so the second thing is you need to get your protein right. Because if your protein is low, you're gonna be hungry, you're gonna snack, and you're gonna make worse decisions. And plus, you also run the risk of losing muscle as well, which we don't wanna do. So you don't need to be perfect, but every meal has to have a solid amount of protein in it. And a simple rule of thumb is your protein source on every meal should be roughly the same size as your closed fist. Whether that's chicken, turkey, mince, lamb, fish, you get the idea, has to be minimum the same size as your fist. And that's your base for your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. You get bonus points for your dessert as well. I'm not saying eat beef for dessert, but you got Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, etc. This minimum amount. But if you're plant-based, you just need to double up on your portion size, and you can use things like chickpeas, lentils, and tofu as your base. Okay, so the third thing is we need to stop guessing your portions. This is where most men get stuck. They say they're eating healthy, but they've got no idea how much they're actually eating. And this is where most people get frustrated, right? Because you can eat as healthy as you want all day long and still not lose fat. So what you need to do is have a rough idea of your calorie target and make sure the meals that you're eating on repeat actually fit within that target. So you don't need to be perfect, you just have to have a little bit of awareness around it. Okay, and lastly, this is the big one. Most progress actually gets undone between Friday and Sunday. So what actually happens is you're dialed in Monday to Thursday, Friday relax a bit, you don't track, and then Saturday and Sunday you go out for a few meals, have a few drinks, and then by Monday you're back to square one. So instead of trying to be perfect, we just want a little bit of structure around the weekend. And that structure might look like just having drinks on one night of the weekend. It's not that hard to do. But if you do go out, I want you to enjoy it and don't stress about it, and you just get back on track the next day. Back to your usual meals and then back to your structure. Also, what I'd recommend is having different meals that you repeat on the weekends, so it feels like you're not doing your normal Monday to Friday, but also feels like you're having a treat. So for example, what I like to do on Saturdays and Sundays for breakfast, because I've got more time, is make smoked salmon, eggs, and sourdough for breakfast, just because during the week I don't have the time to make that. So try and think of meals that fit within your calorie and macro targets, but feel like a treat on the weekend, and stick to those too. But the same rules apply for those meals, right? They have to be high in protein and fit within your calories. This way it enables you to still move forward and not undo any of the progress that you've made Monday to Friday. So instead of trying to be perfect, what I'd rather have you do is just trying to have some simple structure that you can actually stick to. Same meals most of the time, enough protein in each meal, a rough idea of your portions, and a bit of control over the weekends. And that's it. Nothing too crazy, nothing extreme, nothing too complicated, just simple structure. So if you're over 30 and you're trying to figure this out, start with that. And if you want more stuff like this around fat loss, strength, and just generally feeling better in yourself, hit subscribe, because that's what this channel is all about.